Hello, good morning. I'm currently in a place called Lari, which is near Pisa. I'm on holiday in Italy for 10 days with my dad. For context, my dad lives in Australia and moved there 8 years ago. Not seen him in 2 years. We did get here yesterday. It was chaos. I had to wait for him in the airport for like 2 hours. The toilets were closed for cleaning for about an hour of that. And there was nothing at Pisa Airport. Genuinely, there's nothing at Pisa Airport. Then we went to get our hire car. The hire car company have gone bust despite taking his money. And if you're coming to Italy and you are not driving on an EU or UK driving licence, or I think like Schengen area, so probably like other European ones, you need an international driving licence. My father does not have one, so we've had to hire like a local car from a Tuscan company, which is fine. But my dad has not driven a manual in 8 years. He's doing fine, but it also doesn't have sat-nav. But today we're going into Florence, so that's exciting, and I need to get dressed, and I don't really know what to wear, but I have brought far too much stuff with me. I think this. Hi, it's been like 2 weeks since I got back from Italy and I'm finally sitting down to edit the vlog and string it all together. I was waiting until like a day when I had time, and today I'm actually going to see BTS, and that will be a separate vlog, hopefully. I've not started filming it yet though, and it is 20 past 11, so maybe it won't, we'll see. But I thought I would film an intro to this video, although you will have seen a bit. So what you will have seen so far is that I flew to Italy, we had some hire car chaos, which I did explain, and then we went for a day out in Florence. Let's give some context. So essentially my dad moved to Australia 8 years ago, and I've only seen him like a couple of times since, and he wanted to go on a holiday. We were originally going to do something in the middle of the world, like between Australia and the UK, but he wanted to go to Italy, I wanted to go to Italy, so we went to Italy. That's it. That's the context of the trip. And then we were doing some time in Tuscany as a base and some time with Naples as a base. It gets a bit chaotic, but I'll explain more of that later on. Without further ado, let's talk about Florence. I'm sorry if you can hear a little bit of a fan. It's a heat wave in the UK. Like, I genuinely cannot live without this fan right now. But anyway, Florence. Florence was stunning, but oh my God, was it chaos. Genuinely so busy. I live in London. I actually just moved back to London. I'm in a new room, but the number of tourists was absolutely insane. And I know I'm one of them. Oh, one sec. Sorry, I've had a delivery. But Florence was gorgeous, other than it being chaos. I thought it was stunning. It was so hot when we were there, although then I came back to England to like an even worse heat wave. So, you know, it was quite nice. But we were in Florence, it was gorgeous. I had the best pasta ever. I will have shown you it. Cannot for the life of me remember the name of the restaurant off the top of my head, but I'll put it on screen again because you should go there. I had a truffle pasta and it was incredible. I had another truffle pasta on holiday that you'll see in a bit. Didn't love that one as much. And we're now going to move into an evening in Lari. We stayed in an Airbnb in a small town in Tuscany called Lari. It was gorgeous. It's one of the ones, as like most of the cities in this region seem to be, they call them cities even though they're tiny. It's like a fortified castle. It's really cool. Good morning. It's Cinque Terre day. I'm dressed.
I'm currently wearing flip-flops, but I've packed some shoes and a bag to change into when we get to the car park where we go and get the train. But I've just got this really gorgeous Zara set on. And I put my little olive earrings I got in York on. Like hours. I didn't film very much at Cinque Terre. I don't even think that's how you say it. We went to 2 towns, which you would have seen in the clips. They were lovely. It's quite a lot spending time with someone who has such a different character and attitude to you. Like my dad likes to fill silences. He likes to make comments which I think he thinks are funny, and they might be to other people, but it's just bizarre to me. I just wanted to give a little reality check to my Italy trip in case anyone I know is watching this and is like, oh, you look like you had a great time. I'm stressed. It's quite tiring. I'm sat by the little pool and I'm going to have a little float and read of my book and try and get some sun so I can get a little bit of a tan. So going to do that, and then hopefully we've got a dinner booking at 7 p.m. in Lari, which is the town area we're staying in, but we're not going to find out until they email my dad back. I'm going to get in the very cold pool and read some of my book and maybe FaceTime my mum.
Me again. We went to Cinque Terre. I don't think that's how you say it. I just pronounce it like that and have been blindly doing it. And I've googled how you say it, and I don't think that is it. But we went to Rio Maggiore and Manarola. Both were gorgeous. They're 2 of the smaller villages in Cinque Terre, and I kind of wish we'd gone to a couple of the others. But again, it was very hot. It was very chaotic. They're very small towns. There's actually not all that much to do, especially on a hot day, because you don't want to walk up into like the national park, regional park situation at the top. And if you don't take your swimwear, there's nothing to do. And we didn't really go to one of the ones that actually has the beach, like the famous one that everyone goes to that has a beach, which I think we should have gone to, but we didn't. And I didn't really want to climb off rocks to go swimming on my own. So that's that. It was really good. I actually had a great carbonara. You would have seen it on screen. I'm gonna put it on the screen as well where this was, but it was genuinely the best carbonara. I think I had 3 while I was there, and this was my favourite.
Do you want the house tour? Unexciting. My dad's room's over there. The bathroom is there. I'll show you the bathroom at another point. But we come through here. We've got my room, which is the main bedroom. So it's slightly chaotic. The ceiling's gorgeous. Sorry, my pyjamas are really badly piled up. I'm just sorting out my bag for the day. We've got this giant wardrobe. It's huge and old and gorgeous. Here I am. We're going to Pisa today. This is my Pisa outfit. Got some art and a chair. And then the room. There's a chest of drawers there. There's a window there, but I've got the blind curtain closed because we're about to go out. And then a view. I said I would show you the rest of the Airbnb and I didn't. So here, it's a little bathroom. And that's 0.5 there. The second little bedroom, which is where my dad stayed. But yeah, today we are heading to Pisa. Oh, we also have these 2 doors, which are really fun. But we're heading to Pisa today. Should be fun. I don't think we're going to spend a whole day there. I just need to put on maybe some jewellery. I'm thinking a necklace because of this neckline. I've not actually shown you any outfits. Let's show you this one. And my top is from Motel. My trousers from Sisters and Seekers. And then no feet pics, but I've got Havaianas on. And I'm just going to use my... Yeah, excited to head into Pisa. I'm definitely not taking you with me today on here. I'm just going to take my phone. Will I be brave enough to talk to my phone? Probably not. But these cities are so chaotic, like so chaotic. I'm also already sweating and we need to put deodorant and body spray on. Deodorant, body spray, jewellery. And then we're going to head to Pisa. It's a Saturday, so it's going to be quite busy, but Florence was horrific on a Thursday, so...
Pisa is such a bizarre place. It kind of feels like a theme park. I say that because there are these huge free car parks that you park in, and you can get these little train style road bus things to where the Leaning Tower is, and it's all like in one bit. The Leaning Tower, the Basilica, the Cathedral, it's all just there in one bit. Yeah, I didn't get the train slash bus road thing, but that does exist. Pisa was a little bit more chilled than Florence. I will say the Leaning Tower is smaller than expected. She's skinny. She's quite skinny, but gorgeous. Had a lovely time. When we were in the Basilica, actually, I don't know if they do this every hour, but this woman came in, she works there, and did this little singing where you can hear the echo, so I'll put that on screen now. If you can hear her over the fan. And it was really gorgeous, and it was a nice temperature inside the cathedral and the basilica. Pisa's definitely worth a visit, but it's definitely like a half day or day trip. I really wanted to have a focaccia here, and there was a focaccia place next to the restaurant we went to and had a pizza, but again it was so hot and the queues were insane and there's nowhere to sit with those focaccias, so we had a pizza in an air-conditioned restaurant instead. I'm more of a pasta than pizza kind of girl, but so I think I only had 2 pizzas on our time. We were there for 10 days. But I did eat a lot of pasta. A couple of days. And please forgive me for the terrible lighting. The curtains are all closed because we're about to head out of the day. I've not properly vlogged in this video and I'm really annoyed at myself for that. I've been, if I'm honest, having a bit of like a struggle adjusting to spending time with my dad again. We're 2 very different people, and I will be honest, it's taking a lot of energy. A lot more than expected. And yesterday I was taken out by a migraine. I do think it was probably related to I had a visual migraine and I spent like the whole day in bed. And then I also have a terrible insect bite, which, yeah, we don't need to go into the logistics of that. I know I am an adult and can deal with it myself, but I am not insured in our rental car. We are in the middle of nowhere. And it's not being taken that seriously because I'm confident it's infected. So is my mum, who is a medical professional, but whatever. We're heading to Siena and somewhere else today. It's our last day up at this end of Italy before we head down south to the Naples area. I'm gonna try better to vlog and say things to my phone camera rather than just do these bits and then film things while we're out about, so I'll try. I'll really try. I loved Siena so much. I think it was probably my favourite stop on our trip. It's a stunning city, and I showed you the escalators. So from one of the car parks at the bottom of the hill, and I just think the bottom of the hill in general, you can get this series of escalators that like snake and ladder their way up. There are also hills you can walk up, but there were these skinny little escalators you could just stand on, and it was great. Great for a lazy person. I had a great time on them. Although they did stop working for the Australians who got on behind us. I don't know what went on there, but it just stopped when they were like midway up, like a boom, like a wobble. I've had that happen to me once on an escalator before. The escalator just stopped and you kind of wobble because it's very abrupt. Anyway, Siena was gorgeous. We went to this restaurant which was on the clamshell shaped square. Again, not the name of it. I'll put the name of the square on the screen. And I had a steak because I was like, I'm eating too much pizza and pasta. So I had this steak with rocket and cheese. Might be the best steak I've ever had in my life. I was actually talking to my manager about going to Florence, and he was like, Florence steak, like Tuscany, they're famous for their steak. I had a steak, not in Florence, in Siena, but that's still in Tuscany, and it was incredible. It was gorgeous. I also had an ice cream here that was very nice but very expensive. And I should have said about Pisa, I had a gorgeous ice cream in Pisa. It was so good, I showed you it. It was a tiramisu ice cream. It was incredible. And then the one I had in Pisa, which I think that place is a chain, and they're like famous for like chocolate. I think so, like the inside of the cup was lined with like chocolate and hazelnut. And then I had a cappuccino ice cream, and then they can cover it in like a chocolate cap, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to eat that, and also I'm already paying €4.50. Actually, it might have been like €6, but it was a lot for an ice cream, and I was like, I'm not paying more for a chocolate top. But Siena's gorgeous. If you get to go, go. It's beautiful. It was a little bit quieter than all the other cities we went to. There were still a lot of tourists, but it was probably the quietest by far, and it was stunning. I kind of wish I could have spent more time there. But when you're like driving to these places and then you have a drive home and you just want to relax, you kind of just want to leave. So that was kind of our time in Lari, Tuscany. We did spend a little bit of time chilling by the pool. I did have a migraine on the Sunday, so I didn't do all that much. No, on the Monday, as part of the car hire chaos, we ended up with a Jeep that was a little bit older than what we had originally booked, and it did not have sat-nav, and my dad had not driven a manual in years, so he was driving a manual without sat-nav in a country he didn't know. And he wasn't up for driving down to Naples like we originally had planned, and because we'd hired the car in Tuscany, we had to drop the car off in Tuscany, which would mean we would lose a whole day of our trip. So instead, we returned it early, got a bit of a refund, and we got the train. We're now in a place called Torre del Greco. We actually ended up staying there for 2 nights because the Airbnb was gorgeous, but it was very much more of like a place for the aesthetics rather than the comfort. And the reason we stayed there for 2 days is because we had a day trip booked to Pompeii, which was like the whole reason we went to Italy. My dad loves history, really always wanted to go to Pompeii. I love history and I love a volcano. I really wanted to be a volcanologist or a seismologist when I was younger. So it was really cool to be like in the region and see Vesuvius. Like we had this incredible view of Vesuvius from our window, which I'll show you now. It's already in the video, but I think I took some better vertical videos of it than landscape, so you can see those. And it was just gorgeous. Pompeii was really interesting. We had such a good guide who sort of showed us all the highlights. It was so hot, like I felt like I was going to melt every second we were there.
Was the toilet.
Sorry, this is on my phone and not my camera, and sorry if it's really noisy. I've just been like the worst vlogger on this trip and I'm really annoyed at myself because I had like this vision for the most incredible Italy vlog ever and it's just not happened. Oh, it's so noisy, you can't hear me. Basically, it's been quite stressful with my dad. We don't spend much time together. And it's been a lot. And then I've also had sinus issues, migraines, and we've had hire car issues, Airbnb issues. So I've just not been able to do it. And that's really bothered me. I'm going to try and stitch this all together. And then I'm going to try and pull myself together for our last couple of days in Italy. We're moving to a hotel this afternoon in Naples. So hopefully Naples and Positano, which are like the two outstanding things, will be vlogged better. But I'm hoping at least I've managed to like stitch together a little bit of a montagey thing of our time further up north in Tuscany. I filmed a few clips and I filmed a few talking clips, so I'm hoping those work well. And then all we've really done is that I've filmed since we got home to go to Pompeii, so that will be like montagey, music-y. And then hopefully the next bit from this afternoon onwards, I have my own hotel room, completely separate, so I'll feel a bit more comfortable vlogging, but like it's very much, you can hear everything that's happening in all of our Airbnbs. I'm sat on the terrace at the moment in our current one, which is gorgeous, but it's not somewhere you can stay for longer than 2 nights. Still sat in the same spot. My dad came out for a bit, which is why I stopped filming suddenly. But I went through my emails and was doing like life admin. I've watched a YouTube video, and now I don't know why I've decided to do this, but I'm quite literally doing a TripAdvisor review of every single restaurant we've been to. I'm just doing the restaurant we had dinner at last night. I will maybe include down below some of the restaurants we've gone to, but I've now had this vision for this vlog that I'm going to sort of record maybe like voiceover bits or talking clips when I'm back at home, which probably won't be for a week or two because I am moving. Literally, like, I get back, have to go to the office for 3 days in a row, then that Friday I'm moving back to London, then I'm going to the tennis on Saturday, then I'm moving again on the Sunday, in London for 2 days, working and living. Then on the Wednesday I'm going to Wimbledon with my mum, and then after Wimbledon we are getting the train back to Sussex, and then I'm doing my final bit of moving that next weekend. But I need to be home for a few days because I'm going to get my nails done and things. So speaking of nails, look how unreal these are. My nail tech Amy killed it every single time and she's great. But yeah, that's I think the way this vlog's gonna go. But I just thought I'd update you on what I'm up to. It's currently 11:15. I also spoke to my mum, and just gonna get on with my TripAdvisor reviewing. And yeah, I think it's either gonna be talking over the clips that I've already filmed or filming sit-down clips. I just need to sort of get down and maybe put things into a timeline, which I think I might start doing when we get to our hotel this evening, when I'm sort of in my own space with aircon and chilling, when I can like take the time to do it and really focus on it and just like see what I can do. I need to preface this by saying, remember I've said I'm in my weight gain era and I'm going to try and lose some weight because this mirror is really unflattering. But just about to head out for dinner in Naples. We've booked a day trip tomorrow to go to Positano, Sorrento and Amalfi. This is my outfit for this evening. My top is from Motel Rocks. My trousers are Sisters and Seekers. This is my last time wearing them because they've got loads of like dirt around the bottom. And then I've got my Onitsuka Tigers, which actually perfectly match my top. And I've got my bagu. I have just been making little TikToks of the rest of my trip, doing voiceovers for them and stuff like that. So that's been fun. It's time to head out and get some dinner and get some water for my fridge and some snacks for breakfast because we have to be at the pickup for 8:30 tomorrow morning. Right.
Far
did this day trip you've just seen, which was to Amalfi and Sorrento. So we went to Amalfi, Positano and Sorrento. Originally we'd booked one that was not Sorrento, it was somewhere else. Ravello. It was Ravello, Amalfi and Positano. But the book trip wasn't very booked, so we got moved on to another one, and I'm actually so glad we went to Sorrento. I'll go through like the places in order. So in Amalfi, we went to it first. It was quite busy, but apparently it gets busier during the day because people usually go Sorrento, Positano, Amalfi, whereas we went Amalfi, Positano, Sorrento. So we missed the crowds in Sorrento and sort of in Amalfi. I think it was a little bit quieter than it could have been. I kind of wish I'd taken my swimwear so I could have gone for a dip in the sea in Amalfi because it was gorgeous and the beach was really nice, but I didn't. And it was very hot, so we just kind of wandered around. We only got like an hour to an hour and a half in each place. We had a little wander. We had this, oh, I've forgotten how you say it. I had this. I did learn how to say it for a TikTok/short, and that short will be out now. But I've forgotten how you say it, so I'm not going to say it, and I don't have time to Google it. I'm sorry, I'm really rushing this. I liked Amalfi a lot, but it wasn't my favourite. I think my favourite aesthetics-wise was Positano, which we'll talk about next. Positano was gorgeous, very steppy and hilly, but gorgeous. I bought a bag in CB Positano. I think you can kind of see it in the corner there, but I do a haul at the end of this video, which you'll be able to see. But it was gorgeous. I had a great time. Had a nice wander. I wish we had been staying in like there/Sorrento, so maybe could have done a couple of days in Sorrento, a couple of days in Positano and gone to Ravello and Amalfi while we were down there, but we didn't, and that's fine because hindsight is a beautiful thing. But I really liked Positano. It was really nice. The view up from the beach was nice. I kind of was a little bit underwhelmed by the beach itself, but I know you don't really go there for the beach, and I knew that it wasn't going to be great, but it was more underwhelming than expected, and there were so many boats and ships out there. And we then learned the next day that one of those boats was Dua Lipa and Callum Turner on their honeymoon, because we went just after their big chaotic wedding that took over a whole island in Italy. We then went to Sorrento, which I actually wasn't that fussed about going to Sorrento, and I'm so sorry for saying that because I was wrong. Sorrento was gorgeous. It was so quiet in the afternoon. It was so nice to walk around. There were so many shops, cafes, restaurants, and it was flat. Like the main bit of Sorrento, it's flat, and it was lovely. I really enjoyed it, and I would love to go back one day. I'm gonna go. You're gonna see some clips of me talking now and giving some context in real time, because this is the point of the video where I actually started vlogging, because I'd been so hot. I'd been unwell, I had a couple of migraines. I do suffer a migraine after we get in from this day out, so that's great. And I was just, it's overwhelming being with a relative that you haven't ever spent that long with. I've never spent this long with my dad, and we haven't spent time together in a couple of years. And I think we have different worldviews now, which is fine, but as I've got older, I've come to realise we have different worldviews, and it's a little bit of a struggle sometimes, so. Yeah, and I keep touching my earrings, and I don't know why. I'm going to try not to do it. And I'm not going to do it in the next clip you see of me sat in my room.
Good morning, it is Saturday, it's our last full day in Italy, and to say I'm ready to go home is an understatement. I'm so tired. I had a lie-in finally this morning, genuinely for the first time on this holiday, apart from when I was unwell, when we were in Lari. And I feel so much better. I also had a horrific migraine last night, but we went out to dinner. We went out to this place that's in the Michelin Guide. I can't remember what it's called, and I don't think I really took videos, so I'll put them on screen now. It was fine. The charcuterie was incredible, but the mains were just like, it wasn't the best pasta I've had, and I thought if something made it in the Michelin Guide, it would be the best, but it wasn't. Anyway, I just got dressed. I'm wearing my Boy Studios yellow, butter yellow like tank, and an Abercrombie linen maxi that I've had for a few years. I'm so annoyed that I bought so many bags with me, because I've literally just used my Baggu butter shoulder bag in most places, apart from the one day I used my Olend dumpling crossbody bag. But anyway, I am going to brush my teeth, get some sun cream on my arms. I think you can see it, but I had a really bad sunburn last year, and I've got like this line, and my shoulders just aren't tanning. But this is where my really bad burn was. So I don't really know how I'm going to try and even it out. I've been trying to this whole time, but it's just not working. I think I updated you that I had a migraine. I had to buy painkillers. It cost me a fortune. It cost me literally, how many euros? 13 euros, 11 quid. But I want to show you everything I've bought in Italy because I think that would be a nice way to wrap this up. I think I've shown you most of the things, but let's just do it all in one fail swoop. I have not prepared for this. I've just literally unpacked my suitcase to get all the stuff out. Postcards, I got loads. I won't do these in order. Actually, I'll show you what I got my mum first. So far, I've got her this really gorgeous Florence bookmark and some silly socks because I always get her socks. And we'll move on to paper goods. So these are such a variety of things, but they're mainly going to go into my travel journal. So I've got this Amalfi postcard. I've got from when we went to Cinque Terre. Got this gorgeous one from Florence. Manarola. Florence again, and then I got two in Positano yesterday, so I got a postcard, and then I got this print which I think I'm going to frame and put up in my new bedroom. Yeah, it's become like a cult souvenir to buy. I hate that that's in the frame as well, sorry. One of the brand Melville Florence tops. So I got this one, I really like it, it's embroidered, 100% cotton. I got my CB Positano bag. In Sorrento, I finally got a leather bag. I've been wanting to get a little leather bag since we got here, and I looked everywhere in Florence and couldn't find one I liked, and everywhere when we were up north. And I finally got this one, which is obviously inspired by Balenciaga City. Such a nice size, and I actually went for this one because a lot of them looked quite like sturdy and structured, and I wanted one that looked a little bit more used and lived in. Ripped. Actually, I don't think I got ripped up on these because they were only a couple of euros each, but they're very much a thing you can find in almost every ceramic shop in Italy. And I hated that everything I found has had the shop have written like the location name on it in Sharpie or biro. It's really annoyed me. It's so ugly, like every single town, like Florence, Amalfi, everywhere, they've just written it on these mass-produced things. And I know there obviously are some ceramics which are like local and, you know, artisan, but some of them aren't, and you can tell. A little orange espresso cup, a little white one as well. And I'm confident these are, they're made in China, but you know, whatever. And then I have a selection of magnets. I was at one point getting a magnet like every single stop, and I had to chill. This was the last magnet I got. This one is from, I think Positano. Oh no, it's from Amalfi. And same shop I got those in, and this actually is like sort of like a local one, but it's really cute. It's like a little Amalfi scene. I got my Tuscany Pinocchio one. Everywhere seems to think Pinocchio's from it. Everywhere in Italy, but yeah, I think it's from Tuscany. It's very cute. And then the final one, I'm actually more of a tacky magnet person, and those are quite tasteful for me, but don't worry, because when I was in Cinque Terre, I got this really tacky one, and I love it.
And now we're in Naples. Naples was so chaotic. I didn't have any intentions of staying in Naples, I'll be honest. I had an intention of going to Naples for an afternoon or a whole day. And I don't think it was for me. It was very chaotic, but I kind of learnt to love it. Like, it's got a real charm to it. I live in London, so I can say this because we have a similar thing, but you know, like it's a little bit rough around the edges, a little bit dirty. And it was lovely. I had a really good time. We had some really good food. We went to this place called Osteria Ippolito, which I have now seen one of my friends who goes to Italy every year goes there because she posted there and she was like, another great trip here. We had incredible sardines there, and I did have a really good like ragu style pasta. We also went to this place called Bruno's for coffee 2 days in a row. They did this frappe coffee. It was incredible. I also just had a normal coffee. And people say Italians don't do iced coffee, but they do. I had a few really good iced coffees there, but I don't really know why people complain. I don't love Italian coffee. It's not my favourite genre of coffee. I don't really like the physical coffee beans themselves that they use aren't for me. But like the coffees they make are fine. I really enjoyed it, and it was kind of an unexpected stop, but it was beautiful. There was aircon. I had like many migraines and sinus issues there, but it's fine because we could take it slow and chill, and we could relax in our rooms which had aircon, and it was lovely. that is my Italy trip. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. And if you've been to Italy, let me know where you went and what was your favourite place you visited, because I would love to go back. I think Puglia? Is it Puglia? I think I want to go there next. But I'll see you guys in my next video, which should be a BTS vlog. I'm going to import these into my computer now so I can wipe this camera and get recording. It's now 11:38. I need to get on with my BTS day. Bye.